लेक्चर शुरू कीजिए। ठीक है, थैंक यू। Assalamu alaikum everybody. Today I'm Dr. Nasir Ahmed Memon. Today we discuss from pediatrics acute diarrhea. There's two lectures today and the next one day. We'll discuss acute diarrhea, chronic diarrhea, and malabsorption celiac disease. So acute diarrhea, we'll discuss what is acute diarrhea, what is the etiology, and what are clinical features and how we diagnose, and what is the treatment management of the acute diarrhea. We have to discuss how we have to assess the dehydration, what is the some dehydration, what is the severe dehydration, what is the no dehydration, and what is the plan A, plan B, plan C. So be ready, we have to concentrate. So let's start. What is the diarrhea? It is the diarrhea is the passage of 3 or more loose or liquid stools per day or more frequently than is normal for individual is known as a acute diarrhea. Acute diarrhea, you will
हाँ बिल्कुल मैं बंद कर छो पार्टिसिपेंट्स
we are discussing that acute diarrhea. You will see some abbreviations like AGE, acute gastroenteritis, gastroenteritis, GE, AWD, acute watery diarrhea. So these all are for the acute diarrhea. So what is the acute diarrhea? Is the diarrhea say of 3 or more loose liquid stools per day or more frequent than normal is for individuals acute diarrhea. Then epidemiology, there is no age is immune from the diarrhea. That is the major cause of mortality, morbidity in the third world countries. About 8 to 10 million children die of diarrhea in the world every year. It accounts for 25% admission in the wards. So we have, when there is a season of the diarrhea, like in the summer, we have to 25% patients in pediatric is due to acute gastroenteritis, acute diarrhea. It is the second most common killer disease of the childhood. After the pneumonia, is the diarrhea is the most second killer of the childhood. Diarrhea carries a risk of 5 to 10% death in the community. Incident death is particularly high in infancy. Under 1 year, under 2 years is high mortality. Incident mode is more severe, more seen in the malnourished children. So malnutrition is the prime risk factor for the high morbidity and mortality due to the diarrhea. Incident and mortality is more seen in babies who are breastfed, who are not breastfed. So the babies or children under 2 years who are bottle feeding have a more incidence and mortality due to the diarrhea. Approximately 1.3 thousand million episodes of diarrhea occur every year in children under 5 years age in Asia, Africa, Latin America. 4 billion children under the age of 5 years die of the diarrhea every year. 80% of that due to diarrhea occur in the first 2 years of the life, and 19% of death in children under 5 years age in the developing world occur because of diarrhea. Every Pakistani child has 3 to 4 episodes per year due to the diarrhea. Episodes of diarrhea in a year 3 to 4 times. The 3 to 4 episodes. So 90% of cases diarrhea in Pakistan are due to acute diarrhea, and 10% is the chronic diarrhea or chronic persistent diarrhea. So we will discuss later in the second lecture what is the chronic diarrhea and chronic persistent diarrhea. Now comes to the etiology of the diarrhea. Either it's viruses, bacteria, parasite, or to the drugs. So 50% of the cause of the diarrhea is the viruses. And in viruses, the etiology is rotavirus, enterovirus, adenovirus, norvic virus, coronavirus, histrovirus, measles virus. So out of these all viruses, rotavirus is the most leading cause due to the diarrhea under 5 years. And 20 to 30% diarrhea due to the bacteria, due to the E. coli, Shigella, Salmonella, Staphylococcus, Yersinia enterocolitica, Proteus, Pseudomonas, Campylobacter jejuni, Vibrio cholera, and others like parasites, Intervenstolitis, Giardia, Lamella, fungi like the Streptosporidia into the immunodeficient children, and parenteral infection or parenteral diarrhea is due to the acute tonsillitis, otitis media, bronchopneumonia, urine tract infection. And what is the parenteral diarrhea? Is diarrhea due to the infection then other sites like acute tonsillitis, patient will present with the diarrhea. Patient have otitis media, earache, but the patient present with the diarrhea. Patient have a pneumonia, but come with the diarrhea. Patient have UTI, but patient come with the presentation of the diarrhea. So this is called as a parenteral diarrhea or parenteral infection due to the diarrhea. Then non-infectious causes like drugs, sometimes like augmentin, penicillin group, Cephredine, first and second generation can lead to the diarrhea. Food allergens, sometimes in other disease causes lead to the non-infectious cause of diarrhea. Then come to the pathophysiology of the diarrhea. There is a 3 types: osmotic diarrhea and secretory diarrhea, invasive diarrhea. First, we have to discuss the pathophysiology of the osmotic diarrhea. 50% of the children diarrhea due to the osmotic diarrhea. There is invasion of intestinal cells with alteration in their function and renewal. A high concentration of osmotically active molecules like salts and sugar in the bowel human draws water from diffusion producing lead to the dehydration. So one of the causes of the osmotic diarrhea in 50% patient who develop osmotic diarrhea is rotavirus. Second, 25% of children develop the secretory diarrhea. Certain organisms produce the toxin which stimulate cellular mechanisms to produce cyclic MP. This results in decreased sodium absorption from lumen of the gut, increased secretion of water and salt by the villus tips into the lumen, producing watery stools. The cause of secretory diarrhea is Vibrio cholera and enterotoxin form of the E. coli. Then third is invasive diarrhea. 10 to 20% of patients or children develop the diarrhea due to invasive. Organism invade the intestinal wall, causing invasion and destruction of mucosa, producing microabscesses, ulcers, and Shigella and the Fusarium, E. coli, Campylobacter. The patient will come with the blood in his stool or dysentery in the invasive diarrhea. These are the clinical features of the acute diarrhea. Patient there will be history and examination. There will be loose watery stools, vomiting, fever. Patient will be restless on examination, drowsy, will be thirsty, loss of weight, sunken eyes, depressed anterofrontal, dry skin, and when you ask for the urine output, there will be oliguria. Urine output less than 1 ml per kg per hour is called as a oliguria. Then again, you have to go for examination, or you have to ask, unable to drink or feed, cold, clammy skin, feeble pulse, weak pulse, and patient who have a severe dehydration, then the patient will go into the acute renal failure, then will be deep and rapid breathing, acidotic breathing. Patient have abdominal pain, absence of tears, dryness of mouth and tongue, skin punch. If you go for examination to stage 4, no dehydration. Some are severe dehydration, you go for the skin punch, will be go back slowly or very slowly. This is the method that how you have to do for skin pinch to assess for the dehydration. Is the dehydration is no dehydration. There are 3 types: no dehydration, some dehydration, or severe dehydration. So you have to classify according to the sign and symptoms. So this is that you have to how to do the skin pinch, and then you have to decide to go slowly or very slowly. How you differentiate that slowly or very slowly? very slowly when take more than 2 seconds, and slowly less than 2 seconds. So this is slowly or very slowly. This is very slowly. It take time. So if they become like thick, cold, and start going fast, just take more than 2 seconds. It's the very slowly on examination. Very slowly will be in the severe dehydration. So you decide it's a slowly or very slow on basis of the time. You pinch the skin, and if it is more than 2 seconds, the very slow. And then you for the sunken eyes, the child seems to be lethargic, inactive, and sunken eyes is there. Then you have to look for the tears. If the tears are absent, are there tears, and there is sunken eyes, or there is no sunken eyes. Then this is chart very important. You already very familiar with this chart in the community medicine. And with the patient who have a diarrhea, then you have to ask the child, does the child have a diarrhea? If yes, then 2 questions you will ask that. So for how long? It is 14 days or more than 14 days. Within 14 days, and it's acute diarrhea. If it is more than 14 days, then it will be persistent diarrhea. Okay. The second question, is there a blood in the stool or no blood? If there is a blood, then you label as a dysentery. If there is no blood, then it's acute diarrhea. Then you have to look and feel. You can feel there is a 4 points in. You have to look and feel. Look at the child's general condition. Is the child abnormally sleepy or difficult to awaken? Restless or irritable? This is the one thing that you have to ask and examine. Look and feel. Look and feel. Abnormally sleepy or difficult to awaken? Restless or irritable? Second point is look for sunken eyes. Third, offer the child fluid. Fluid can be simple water or ORS. The child not able to drink or drinking poorly or drinking eagerly thirsty. These are things you have to do and offer the water. Pinch the skin of the abdomen. We already told you very slowly, longer than 2 seconds or slow. These you have to look and feel 4 points, and these 4 points will decide that patient have a severe dehydration, some dehydration or dehydration. How? When you ask these 4 points, then you have to able to decide that patient have a some or severe dehydration. On the basis of, you have to like if patient have out of these 4 points, the 2 things is there, the you label as a severe dehydration. What are that 4 points? Abnormal sleepy or difficult to awaken. Second, sunken eyes. Third is not able to drink or drinking poorly. Fourth is skin pitch goes back very slowly. Out of these, if there is a 2 points, is there 2 things is in the patient to label as a severe dehydration. Then there is other 4 points we differentiate the patient of some dehydration. Out of 4, 2 should be there. Restless, irritable, sunken eyes, mild, not deep-seated, like in severe dehydration. Mild, level some dehydration, drinks eagerly or thirsty. Here was not able to drink or drink equally. Here drinks eagerly or thirsty. Want to more and more like like we were in the fasting, and when after that water we take 2, 3 glasses, 4 glasses, like that. If it is drinks eagerly thirsty, then you label as a some dehydration. Skin pinch, you have to go if it is less than 2 seconds, it is slowly. So if 2 things is there, you label as some dehydration. If it is not from here or here are only 1 sign is there, then are there no signs of dehydration, label as a no dehydration. And this one we'll discuss in the chronic diarrhea, inshallah, in the next lecture. Then investigation, how you to establish if the patient have a decide it's a viral or bacterial, or the patient have a complication, electrolyte imbalance, go for blood CT to show for that there is leukocytosis, leukopenia, or the patient have a complication like leukocytopenia is there. Serum electrolytes, you have to look for the hypokalemia, hyponatremia, blood urea, creatinine, the patient have a renal or renal failure. Look for creatinine, stool DR, and stool culture to differentiate viral or bacterial. Then treatment. Treatment depend upon the type of the dehydration and general treatment. Rehydration child is a cardiac assessment of dehydration. Like you have to remember these very important that where you have to give the ORS, where you have to give the IV fluids, and where you have to ask them to when to come back for the reassessment. So plan A is for the no dehydration, plan B for some dehydration, and plan C for CVD. We'll discuss what is the plan A, what is the plan B, what is the plan C. But you have remembered that in no dehydration it will be plan A, in some dehydration it will be plan B, and severe dehydration will be plan C. Continue the breastfeeding under 2 years of the children, and you have to start semi-solid diet. From 6 months, you start the soft and semi-solid diets. But in the diarrhea, we recommend that well-known one abbreviation is KYB diet. KYB, like khichdi, yogurt in the banana. This is the very soft diet in the diarrhea. You have to stop other solid or semi-fluids and stop few days wheat for the child. Only you have to recommend, you have to give, you have to advise, prescribe, counsel for the family for you have to give KYB diet, khichdi, yogurt, banana, and give the extra fluids when there is a diarrhea. You have to give extra fluids. Advise mother for follow-up visit and treat the specific cause the bacteria. You have to prescribe the antibiotic. Plan A for the, you remember for what? Plan A for the no dehydration. Okay, remember? So plan A for the no dehydration. So there is no signs of dehydration. There is no dehydration. If there is patient with no dehydration, and if there is a diarrhea, give the extra fluid, continue feeding, and you have to give zinc for the 10 days. Under 6 months, half teaspoon, and above 6 months, 1 teaspoon for the 10 days. And tell them when to return for follow-up if the patient have a signs of persistent vomiting, or the patient have blood in his stool, or patient have a lethargic, unable to take orally, patient drowsy, unconscious. You tell them red flag signs that when to return, come back for the again reassessment. Treatment plan B for the some dehydration. You already discussed there the 4 points after 2. There is, and then how you treat for some dehydration for plan B. You have to correct by the ORS. You have to give ORS in the 4 hours. You have to calculate 75 ml per kg ORS in 4 hours. You give the prescribed low or smaller ORS. So how you have to give ORS? According to the age like 10 kg child, and you want to give 75 ml. How much will be ORS? It will be 750 ml. So this 750 ml ORS you give it in the 4 hours. And if the patient have a like 4 kg, how much will be ORS? It will be 300. 300 you have to give in the 4 hours. So if the child have a 5 kg, how much will be? So 475 ml you have to give for 4 hours, and again reassess. After that the patient have a, after 4 hours you have to give like 10 kg you give in the 750 ml ORS. After 4 hours you are again reassess for no dehydration, some dehydration or COD. If they have some dehydration then again start plan B. If no dehydration, then you have to give only liquids, no calculation. And if the severe dehydration, you change to the plan C. So this is the formula for the ORS. This is that how much contents of the sodium or glucose or potassium. The low osmolar sodium is 2.6 mg, disodium citrate is 2.9 mg, potassium chloride 1.5 mg, glucose 13.5 in the low osmolar ORS. And what is the plan C? Plan C for the severe dehydration. Here the child is not able to take orally, it's a drowsy, lethargy, unable to take orally. So now choice is the patient is not taking what is soil. Choice is IV fluid. Choice of fluid is Ringer lactate or normal slide. How you have to calculate the fluid? You have to give according to the weight. First 10 kg you have to give 100 ml per kg. and more than 10 kg each, 1 kg, like from 10 to 20 kg, you have to give 50 ml per kg. And above 20 kg, you have to edit for every kg 20 ml. So how you calculate the fluid is very important when you are treating the plant. See, for the severe dehydration, like the patient is 5 kg, you have to give 500 ml, like 100 ml per kg, 500. If the patient is 7 kg, you have to give the 700 ml. Patient is 10 kg, you have to give 1000 ml, 1000 ml. But if the patient is 12 kg, how much you will give? So for the 10 kg will be 1000, and for more 2 kg will be 50 ml per kg will be 1100. Okay, 1100. Like if it is patient is 15 kg, you have to give 1250 ml. And if the patient is 20 kg, it will be, for 20 kg, how much will be? For first 10 kg will be 1000, and next 10 kg will be 500, because next 10 kg 50 ml per kg. First 10 kg 100 ml per kg. Next 10 kg 50 ml per kg. So for the 20 kg 1500 ml. And if the more than 20 kg, like if it is 22 kg, how much will be? 1540. Okay, and if it, the patient is 25 kg, how much will be IV fluid? 25 kg, you have to give 1600. Like first 10 kg 1000, then second 10 kg 500 plus, then 5 kg 20 ml per kg will be 100. So 1000, 500 and 100, 1600 ml for the 25 kg. So this is the important, that how you have to calculate the amount of the fluid to give in the severe dehydration, and how much duration you have to give this amount. Like it depends upon age of the child. If the child is under 1 year or from 1 year to 5 years, you have calculated amount of the fluid. Now how much duration you have to give. Like if it is under 1 year, and under 1 year you have to give in the 6 hours, and above 1 year you have to give 3 hours. So how you have to give? Under 1 year you have to give in the 6 hours 30% of the fluid you have to give 1 hour, and 70% remaining fluid in the 5 hours. Like our first hour you have to give 30 ml per kg, and then 70 ml per kg in next 5 hours. It depends upon that you want to do ml per kg or percentage. Percentage will be total fluid, then 30% first hour, 70% 5 hours. Above 1 year, if the child is 12 months to 5 years, then you have to give in 3 hours. Rapid fluid you have to give in the older child, more than 1 year. So 30% give in the 30 minutes, and 70% of the fluid is 2.5 hours. So above 1 year, you have to give in 3 hours, and under 1 year, you have to in 6 hours. And 30% of fluid in under 1 year in 1 hour, and above 1 year, you have to be in 30 minutes. Now we have to discuss that complication of the acute diarrhea. It will be water electrolyte imbalance. Water you have to collect with the IV fluid. Then there's electrolyte, can be hyponatremia, hypernatremia, hypokalemia, hyperkalemia. But out of these, we have to come across majority of the cases hypokalemia and hypernatremia. Hyperkalemia very rarely, but majority cases you will see the hypokalemia. Then metabolic acidosis, either due to dehydration or sometimes there is the renal failure, patient develop metabolic shock, severe dehydration, all the water is lost with the vomiting, diarrhea, patient will be in the shock, maybe due to the hypovolemic shock, or patient can be in the septic shock. Uremia, if the patient develops renal failure, then yes, urea will be high. Then secondary bacterial infection can be separated along with the diarrhea, pneumonia, otitis media, boils, injection, abscesses, UTI, can patient secondary develop. Then secondary lactose intolerance, there is one is the primary and another is the secondary lactose intolerance. Primary is from the birth. The child is start when you start the milk, the patient has the diarrhea, and urinary redness will be there and not subsided by. So it will diagnose by stool reducing substance. And if it is stool reducing substance is positive, then there is a lactose intolerance. So primary from the birth, but secondary means it can develop after the diarrhea. It can be any age, 1 year, 6 months, 2 years. So secondary rectal withdrawals will be followed by the diarrhea, and it is time limited. It can be subsided when you have a limited time. You give the lactose free milk. Then malnutrition, if the patient again in the diarrhea or prolonged diarrhea, then yes, we should go into the malnutrition. Necrotizing colitis is in the newborn found, but not in the older children. Septicemia, if patient have already signs symptoms of sepsis, patient later on going to septicemia. Post-diarrheal distension, yes, this is the common complication due to the hypokalemia. Patient have a vomiting, diarrhea, potassium is lost, not replaced, the patient will come with abdominal distension. It is known as post-diarrheal distension or paralysis. Acute renal failure very rarely, if not treated properly, not rehydrated properly, a late referral patient can go into the acute renal failure. Then death, yes, if it is again that not properly managed or late referred or parents' ignorance, patient can die into the gastroenteritis. If the whole water is lost, patient will go into shock and cardiac arrest. Then prevention is better than the cure. Prevention is that you have to advise for breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding for the 4 to 6 months, no water, no booty, no medicine, nothing you have to give, no bottle feeding, only exclusive up to 4 to 6 months, and then from 4 to 6 months, soft or semi-solid diet should be started. Like we know, we say for the complementary feeding or weaning food. Avoidance of bottle feeding. Bottle is the risk factor for the diarrhea because there will be we have an issue for that proper sterilization of bottle and then mixing of the water, contamination of water and the milk. Then hand washing for mother who's taking the child. Vaccination is important. You have to important regarding diarrhea, the rotavirus vaccine, which is available in the EPR. You have to apply for the vaccination. If it is not vaccinated child, proper water and supply and sanitation is a big issue in our country. Like in the rainy season, now is again adequate diet to prevent malnutrition. Diet is important. If the child already we discussed the malnutrition is there, there's a more chances for the patient going to the complication and will take time, prolonged time to recover from the acute diarrhea. Prognosis depends on age of the child. Under 2 years is high mobility, mortality, status of dehydration. If there's a severe dehydration or treatment, patient going to the patient can develop complication, the renal failure, patient can die. If the no or some dehydration properly rehydrated by the IV fluid, properly diagnosed, then yes, there will be less chances for the morbidity and mortality. Associated problem like malnutrition, I already told you malnutrition is a risk factor for increased morbidity and mortality. Cause of the diarrhea, diarrhea will take time, 3 to 5 days, sometimes 7 days. Like rotavirus, most common. There will be no antibiotic for the viruses. Only important is you have to give the zinc, ORS, and KYB diet. I told you before that khichdi, yogurt, banana is the well recommended KYB diet. Presence or absence of complication will decide for the prognosis of the child in the acute gastroenteritis diarrhea. Thank you for any question again.
You got them.
Now, question mute.
अच्छा ये था क्या पार्टिसिपेंट के हाँ म्यूट आदमी या अलो कंदोस ना हाणे ये कुछ तो
Okay.
पानी इंदी विंदी था एडो माइक ठान दो इनो टन चे अपने माइक को अपन म्यूट कर हाँ
Ji, anybody who want to any question regarding acute diarrhea, management of acute diarrhea? Mute your
सर
mic.
प्लेन सी में जो आपने वेट सर
जी जी.
प्लेन सी में जो आपने आईवी फ्लूइड्स के लिए बताया था ना वेट के अकॉर्डिंगली, वो थोड़ा सा दोबारा समझा दें कि फर्स्ट पे जो वहां पे स्लाइड में लिखा हुआ है कि 10 kg पे 100 ml पर kg है, तो वो थोड़ा आप दोबारा से समझा दें।
अच्छा, इसमें क्या समझ में, मेरे ख्याल में मैंने सारा कुछ क्लियर किया है। अगर child is under 10 kg, then you have to give 100 ml per kg, like 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg, 5 kg, up to 10 kg you give fluid 100 ml per kg. And if the age under 1 year, you have to give 6 hours. More than 1 year, you have to give 3 hours. But if the child weight is more than 10 kg, then up to 10 kg you have to give 1000 ml for like 100 ml per kg. More than between 10 to 20 kg, you have to, for every per kg, you have to give 50 ml per kg. Like if the weight is 16 kg, how much will be fluid? Whoever asked the question, tell me the answer. If 16 kg, how much will be fluid? Hello? हेलो, आवाज आ रही? जी, for 16 kg, how much will be fluid? Please. जी, unmute your mic. जी. For 16 kg, how much will be fluid? Hello? Okay, for 16 kg, how much will be fluid? Okay, for 20 kg, how much will be fluid?
1500 ml.
Yes, right. So for the 20 kg, 1500. And for 16 kg, how much will be fluid?
1300 ml.
1300, okay. So got it? Who asked the question? If like, okay, if it is weight is 24 kg, how much will be fluid? 24 kg.
1540 ml.
Again, 24 kg. 1500?
1540 ml.
No. Again, another one. Anybody? For 24 kg. For first 10 kg will be 1000. Another 10 kg will be 500. So it will be 1500 for 4 kg. Each kg will be 20 ml. How much will be this? For 24 kg. 1580. Right? Got it? Any question other than this? Hello? Anybody?
Sir, 1580 kg.
Yes, right. Okay. And for 30 kg, how much will be? 30 kg. How much will be for 30 kg?
1700 ml.
70 ml. Okay, very good. Any other question?
Sir, can you repeat plan A?
Plan A is just for no dehydration. When there is no signs of dehydration, just you have to give the ORS, SOS. Like if they have a diarrhea, a young child 1 to 2 years, you have to give 10 to 15 ml, 20 ml. You have to give SOS. Like if for every diarrhea, you have to give the ORS. For every passing of the stool, you have to give SOS ORS, and encourage for if under 2 years milk, you have to give soft diet and zinc supplementation. Zinc is very important to decrease the morbidity and mortality, decrease duration of the diarrhea, decrease complication of the diarrhea. So you give the zinc 10 for the 10 days. You have to give zinc in all, but except in severe dehydration, the child is not taking orally. When child will be severe dehydration subsided, you will start the zinc. So important is that you give in the no dehydration, some dehydration ORS, but in the some dehydration plan B, you have to calculate it, the ORS. In no dehydration plan A, you have to just only give the SOS. When there is a diarrhea, you have to give the ORS. Otherwise, no need. But again, ask them, tell them the family. Yes, if it is there is signs of some dehydration, to tell them the child eager. Already I told you is thirsty, eager to, irritable. Either they by self start the ORS plan B or come again for reassessment form. Okay, got it? Any another question?
Sir, if we found any organism in the stool culture,
Yes.
so won't we add antibiotic or anything? Only we will hydrate the patient.
No, this is I told you the cause majority cases 50% of the viral. You have to again only you have to give the zinc, ORS, and rehydrate for. And if you think if they along with they have a fever, the sick, toxic, then yes, you have to start the antibiotic. If it is patient have a some dehydration, oral antibiotic. If they have a severe dehydration, IV cannula is there, then you have to start the IV antibiotic. But important that stool culture will take 5 to 7 days. You not wait for the stool culture, depend upon the patient condition and your experience. You have to decide that it's viral or bacterial. But nowadays, every patient is getting the antibiotic. Gee, any other question? कोई सवाल नहीं?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. You people. Thank you. Welcome. Read,